Good morning, everybody. So I have an announcement to make, and I wanted to make this announcement several days ago, but I didn't do it because I felt that I should handle things a little differently this time from the way I have in the past. But long story short, and as if you couldn't tell from the title of the video anyway, I quit smoking again, but this time feels a little bit different. And I feel a lot more confident going into it this time, and I wanted to talk to you about that because I have some things to say about what I did differently this time that may help you finally kick the habit as well. So basically what I did this time is over the course of the last few weeks, I've smoked a little more often than what I normally would, and because of that excessive smoking, it beat down on my body pretty good. You know, my lungs hurt, my throat hurt, you know, the usual things that a smoker would complain about. And especially last Friday, which Friday is the day that I quit, or I smoked my last cigarette on Friday. It's Tuesday now, actually. So, you know, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we're on day number 4 now. I'm already over that 3-day hump. But anyway, on Friday I smoked very excessively. I smoked to the point that I didn't want another cigarette. I smoked to the point where I couldn't envision trying to inhale another puff because my lungs hurt so much and just the taste didn't even taste good anymore. I didn't want another cigarette. I didn't want to smell them. You know, I just felt I just smoked way too much. And that is probably what helped me quit so easily this time. Okay, so that's just a pointer for next time you go to try to quit again, or if you're trying to now, just over smoke until the point where you're disgusted by it. Because that's the mindset, that's where you need to be up here, to put cigarettes down and be done with it. And also to set this up, where I quit for, you know, over the weekend, there's a reason why I did that. I didn't necessarily pre-plan that I was going to do it, you know, on Friday and over the weekend. But I was getting to a point where I was just so sick of smoking that it just happened to fall right there at the end of a week. And see, I don't work on weekends. I don't have like social gatherings and things like that. Basically, I chose a few days there. So when I quit, I didn't have any obligations that would normally, you know, get me anxious to where I'd want to smoke. I made sure that I went to the store and I had everything at the house I would need, so I did not have to run around the corner to the gas station, you know, the place where I'm always buying cigarettes. And since I always smoke in the car, I basically made sure I did not have to leave the house. I made it so I could avoid anything that I would normally associate with smoking and that would make me want to smoke. So I avoided car rides, I avoided phone conversations. Of course, I wasn't working, you know, over the weekend because you always got to have that, you know, smoke break just to get away from things at work. So I chose a time that I wasn't working. And to try to be quick about this, in terms of planning for when you quit smoking, when people tell you have a plan, they're not telling you plan to do it on this certain date or that certain date. They're not telling you, you know, they're not approving of you of quitting on, I'm going to quit on, you know, this birthday, or I'm going to quit at the end of this month, or I'm going to quit on the 1st of August, or I'm going to quit, you know, as part of a New Year's resolution. Well, I don't necessarily think that one's a bad idea. You know, you shouldn't set it as a date. You should just say, I will quit this year, instead of saying, I will quit on the 1st or at the end of the month. You know, that's what you're doing when you set a certain date, is you're putting pressure on yourself to fulfill your goal on that date, and smoking doesn't work like that. You know, that's kind of why I told you that what I told you in the beginning of this video, as far as, you know, getting out of the habit of smoking. I had to pick a time that I was tired and sick of smoking. You know, I picked a time when I was disgusted by it. You know, that's because, again, that's where your mindset has to be. You can't just choose a time in the midst of, you know, your smoking endeavor, however long it may last, and just be like, I'm just going to quit on this day. Not even knowing what that day is going to bring until you get to that day. You know, if you're not ready to quit, you're not going to want to quit. You're going to have a hard time quitting, and chances are you might fail, and that's going to discourage you and make you very unhappy you know, with the fact that you could not reach that goal that you wanted to do. But again, you can't just pick a day in the future and say, this is when I'm going to quit, because you don't know how you're going to be feeling that day. You know, you've got to be in the mindset of being ready to quit smoking. So that's why I kind of said in the beginning of the video, just smoke a whole bunch until you're basically sickened by it and you don't want to hit another cigarette, and use that, you know, use that disgust, you know, mentality to quit smoking then and there. So now that we're on day 4, what have I done for the last 3 days to curb my cravings? I basically did a lot of things that I already do, but I don't do enough of. For example, one of the very first things I did when I woke up on Saturday morning, instead of smoking a cigarette, I took an extra few minutes to try to perfect a cup of coffee. I made it into a latte. You know, I took a little glass mason jar and mixed up some milk and, you know, made milk foam, and, you know, just I took it like a couple of minutes extra trying to make a perfect cup of coffee, something that I normally wouldn't do. I usually just get the coffee going as quick as possible so I can run over and smoke a cigarette and enjoy my coffee with my cigarette, because everybody who drinks coffee and smokes knows how good those two go together. So really I shouldn't have even touched coffee during that time, but I did, and I took the extra time that I would normally spend doing something that I'm not proud of, doing something that, you know, I could be a little bit more proud of. So that's just one of the little things, you know, that I had more time to do. Another thing that I did over the weekend is I played a lot more guitar, and I didn't just grab my guitar and sit on the couch with a pick and just start playing. I hooked the guitar up. I put it into an amp. I put headphones on. You know, I really got myself involved in it, you know, because it would take a little more effort to stop doing what I was doing. If I wanted, like, if I had a craving for a cigarette or something, you know, I think I went through all this effort to hook the guitar up and put all the cables where they go and hook the headphones up, and I'm sitting there and I'm all, you know, I found the right, you know, tuning on my Digitech, or not tuning, but, you know, basically what I'm saying, I made myself very involved in something that normally I wouldn't be so involved with, you know, and I just spent a lot of time with headphones on, playing guitar. And another thing that I did a lot of is, now I know not everybody has this ability, it doesn't have to be VR, but, you know, gaming. You know, I plugged up my VR headset, and I've probably been most of my awake time for the last few days on the VR headset. You know, and I do feel a little bad about that because, you know, I have obligations as an adult that I need to take care of and responsibilities. But guys, I'm trying to get past the hump, you know, with quitting smoking. So I forgive myself for the last few days of spending all my time gaming and playing guitar. But, you know, the idea is to take away from, not even take away from, just, even if I'm having cravings, not even notice that I'm having them. And for the last few days, I really don't remember having but maybe 1 or 2 cravings. And here we are on day 4. I'm going to try to step back from some of this extra stuff I've been doing and trying to get back to normal a little bit. But of course, if I notice that cravings start setting in, I'll just jump right back on the VR set or right back on the guitar. You know, just anything you can do to occupy yourself, because cravings don't last forever. You know, cravings last for a couple minutes at best. You know, so if you can just occupy yourself for a couple minutes, your cravings are pretty much over with, and you're already past that. Coffee tastes a whole lot better without a cigarette, believe it or not. Actually, even food already, just in a few days, food is already starting to taste better. I'm starting to, you know, smell things better when we're cooking. Man, it smells really good. All right, everybody, thank you very much for watching this video. Get to quit smoking, and we'll keep each other updated and see how things go from here. So I'll see you in the next video. Could be today, tomorrow, I'm not exactly sure. I don't even know if I'm gonna be covering this quit smoking endeavor regularly, but you might end up seeing a daily vlog out of me just to keep up to date with what's going on and how my cravings have been going and everything, because again, it's not just something that applies to me, and it's not really just me talking about myself. It's a lot of people go through this, you know, so knowing that other people are going through the same thing that you are might help. So I don't know, we'll see what happens from here. You guys let me know down in the comments what you want to see. Do you want me to continue talking about this? You want me to shut the hell up and move on to the next subject? See you in the next video.